Welcome back, everyone. My name is Knight of Saint Draft, and I'm here streaming, this thing. If you haven't seen this deck before, it's actually quite the hoot. Essentially, the idea of this deck, we play Scapeshifts, which is just a really powerful Magic the Gathering card. I don't know if you knew that or not. But essentially, the idea of the deck is to put Hedron Crab into play, copy it maybe a couple times with Phantasmal Image, and then Scapeshift your opponent into complete and utter Milltown. So we've run into a few problems with this deck in the past. Mainly the first time around, it was just a lot of like weird landfall deck problems. We basically had like a billion lands and a billion cards that got out lands, and it just sucked because we didn't have anything to do with them, and it really wasn't very fun. So we made a couple changes. One thing that we did, and that was kind of early on to it, was this is essentially a Turbo Fog deck. You fog a bunch while you're setting up the sort of Hedron Crab Scapeshift combo. And now, I know what you're going to say. I know this looks funny, and it is. It's a little funky, but this actually works. On my YouTube channel, you can go and find it, youtube.com/Knight of Saint Draft. And if you're watching this in the future or watching it now, you can find the other streams of this there. And we've made this deck work a bunch of times. The combo works. The deck functions. It's just that it needs to find the right combination of the cards that it's playing in order to make it work perfectly. So we ran into a couple of issues, like I was talking about. And one of the issues that we ran into was Emrakul. The Aeon's Torn, or pretty much just the other two Eldrazi Titans would also be problems, but you never see those in Modern. So we've decided to, play some Surgical Attractions in the main. This card's very good. It's one of those cards that a lot of people kind of bring in a lot in matchups in Modern, which I think is incorrect. You're not supposed to bring it in so much, but people bring it in quite a bit. But it is pretty good, and especially in even a lot of mill decks play it main board because it stops things like Emrakul. With Emrakul's trigger on the stack, you can exile it with a Surgical Extraction, and it only costs you 2 life. It doesn't actually cost any mana. So, and you can do that instant speed or whatever, so you can hit the piece. And so the trigger will still happen. You'll still have your opponent's graveyard into their library, which sucks for a mill deck, but the good thing about our deck is that we just have like a combo mill kill instead of just having it like be a slowly over time kind of thing, and then like, oh, you put a bunch of work into it and then it dies. This is more like a one mana or one spell kill you as long as you have the pieces in order. So we've kind of done that as sort of our sort of call up to Emrakul being in the format, which quite honestly doesn't actually happen all that often. As you can imagine, she's not very popular. However, she does show up, so we needed answers to it. Plus, Surgical Extraction is good. If we're milling opponents, it's good against things like Tron. If we, turn 1 Hedron Crab, turn 2 fetch land, mill away a Tron land that isn't already in play, we can Surgical it and get them out of here. Make them play on a fair game, which can be very powerful. It can also just hit important combo pieces. If you do it enough against something like Jund, then you can take out enough of their threats. Usually it's not very good against Jund, and I usually will board it out. But in game 1, at least, it can be useful. Stopping any number of various things. But we're still a Scapeshift deck. So, and because we have sort of the basic package of Scapeshift, we have your Search for Tomorrows, you have your Sakura-Tribe Elders, and then obviously your Scapeshifts, as well as some Cryptic Commands to just like keep the counter wars and stuff like that. We actually put 3 Prismatic Omens and 2 Valakuts in our sideboard. In some matchups, and actually quite a lot of matchups, it's very easy just to bring in 2 Valakuts and 3 Prismatic Omens. Prismatic Omens makes all your lands in the mountains, and it makes the Valakut kill with Scapeshift very plausible. And it's one of those cards and one of those like combinations of cards that works really well in this deck because it doesn't actually require us to add the 3rd color of red. It just has us playing our main plan, but also having this sort of combo kill ready to go when we need to. Especially if if game 1 we win with the whole like milling out combo, our opponent might overvalue things like spot removal against our Hedron Crabs and Phantasmal Images and stuff, where in doing that, they might not see the Prismatic Omen Valakut kill coming. So we can just go Omen, Scapeshift, kill you. Because you only need 6 lands. That deals 18 damage with a Prismatic Omen. And actually, it deals, what, 4... No, it could deal 36, actually, because you can grab both Valakuts and 4 lands. And they're all mountains anyway, so it doesn't matter. But you need at least 6 lands to do it. So, but I digress. We also have a bunch of other random stuff on our sideboard. We have 4 Tireless Tracker. This card is just very good. If you haven't played with this card, it goes in pretty much every green deck in Modern. It's just insane. Outside of, let's say, Mono Green Charbelcher, because it's just like 7 lands. So, Tireless Tracker, not so great. But it is very good in Modern. And I highly suggest playing it if you're playing green. 2 Negates. These are just kind of call-outs to the fact that Control is a deck in the format. You need to be able to fight Counter Wars. And Cryptic Command is pretty terrible in fighting Counter Wars. You'd much rather play Negate because it's cheaper. Or something like Dispel, which we do not have, but Dispel also works. Negate is just helps out against a lot more things, and we put enough lands into play where usually having 2 mana for Negate versus 1 mana for Dispel doesn't really matter. Obstinate Baloth, this is kind of a concession to Liliana of the Veil. Liliana can be very important in matchups where Liliana is being played against us. She can be very powerful. So we have to make sure that we have answers for her. And putting a 4/4 directly into play off of her +1 ability, also gaining 4 life, also going to get burned, is very relevant. And then the Seal of Primordiums are just ways to deal with random artifacts and enchantments that come out. Blood Moon, very specifically, can hinder this deck quite a bit. However, we do play a lot of basics, and in our main game plan, Blood Moon doesn't do a whole lot. But against our sideboard plan of the Valakut Prismatic Omen, it can matter quite a bit. So, real quick, I have to step away from my computer, so I'll be away from my mic for just a moment. I have to put dinner in the oven, essentially. It'll take 2 seconds. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So we are going to jump in here with HedronShift. Oh man, this deck is fun. So, it's not very good. It's kind of, it's definitely like a meme. It's a joke. But it's pretty sweet in kind of how it operates and stuff. So, it should be a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys enjoy watching it as much as I enjoy playing it and doing all the stupid things that this deck likes to do. So... Also, if you hear a little bit of jingling around, that's because the doggo is hanging out with me. So, you might hear his tags and stuff jingling around. So I apologize for that. But actually, not really, because doggo is sweet. This hand doesn't do a whole lot. A lot of lands, which we don't actually want in this deck. You want to kind of like be able to get your lands out. Yeah, this works. Ideally, you want like Hedron Crab really early on, but we can get there. We do not need another ramp spell, I don't think. I think we're fine where we are. Island. Mistcaller. So is this... This is likely Merfolk. I've played against the Merfolk deck with Mistcaller before. Actually, a couple of times. I did not think it was very good. To be perfectly honest. It just felt really weird, but... I don't know. I could be wrong. It could be just as good as all the other Merfolk decks. Are they missing a land drop? That might be good for us. Ooh, they are missing a land drop. Okay. And so now this should just be block and sacrifice for a basic. Go get a basic forest. The nice thing against aggro decks, at least these creature-based aggro decks, is that things like our mainboard Fogs and Haze of Pollens are very relevant. So, yeah, Lord of Atlantis, less good, but still able to be handled. So, sure. Just go get more lands, I guess. Ideally, we start drawing some action spells here. We need something. I think we can take a hit here for 6. It's not quite lethal, and that's kind of what matters. Yep. Merfolk Trickster. Yep. Swinging in. Fog. We could really use an action spell. Sure. Come on. Gosh, just more lands, huh? Sure. They got us. We just drew lands. So, against Merfolk, Surgical's not as good. I wonder if we just want the Prismatic Omen Valakut combo here. We probably do. Cut a couple of images. Bring in Omens, Valakuts. Done. We could also probably use the Tireless Trackers too, just as like blockers, but unfortunately we just have like natural islands. Like we have 8 islands in the deck. So they're going to be able to, and if we get Prismatic Omen online, then it's just like game over. We just can't block any of their stuff because they have 8 lords that make their stuff unblockable. And that's not what we want. We don't want unblockable stuff. I think that's the main problem with this 0 to D series. I think a lot of the time, the decks that we play, we just draw like the wrong half of the combo kind of thing. Like, our first 0 to D combination was Grixis Dragons and Exhaustopus, and those decks worked out fine because they were like mid-range kind of grindy decks, and then we jumped into these weird various combo decks like HedronShift and Miracle Grow, and we just have this wrong half problem. Maybe that's something to reevaluate in the future. Although we're coming up on the sort of end of both of these decks. We either do the until 3-2 or better, or until we do the, if we do 6 streams in a row where we don't do well enough, we chalk it up as the deck is impossible to do. So, God, this hand does nothing. No, I think I need to go back. I need something. This works. I don't need another Prismatic Omen. The cat's kind of out of the bag now. We're on some sort of Scapeshift plan. Although the ramping should have told them that, so. Now everything's a mountain. Sure. My opponent has to be quite the aggressor here. This just looks so funny. I love it. Just all 4 times. Just tacked onto the forest. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, you got it. Alright. Yeah, you can have an Aether Vial. Ooh, a Hedron Crab, huh? Now, I think we're just gonna stymie their stuff here with a Cryptic Command. I'm gonna return Aether Vial. And draw a card. Okay, there's our lands. So next turn we can kill them. Sorry, I'm muting myself every now and again with talking to the gal pal. Okay, so if they have a counter spell, oh, that's so much better. Yeah. I guess Scapeshift anyway. They have Deprive. Sure. Interesting. Let's see. Attack me. This, I mean, just playing land drops might be able to just keep their creatures at bay, so... Kind of did that out of order, but whatever. Sure. Oh, it also taps it down. Gross. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, that's exactly 8. Dang it. They had the counterspell for my Scapeshift. So if they see the activate Mutavault plan, I'm dead. But I also could just have a fog. Oh, nothing. Yeah, no blocks. Save targets, always yield. Fencer is quite interesting. Yeah, unfortunately they just activate me, default, and kill me. Yep, they got me. They had the counterspell ready for that Scapeshift, which really sucked. And we just didn't draw another one, which also sucked. But at least that the deck was functioning there. Versus like the first game where we just didn't draw anything other than lands. Well, we actually need lands to cast our spells. Okay, so sure. Keep. Put on top. And I'm going first. Jesus. Perfect. Just going to be Abzan. Discard kind of sucks against us. No, it looks like elves. Interesting. Okay. We might be alright against them. Yes. Target you. Save targets always yield. Oh, it just looks like a Life from the Loam. Abzan Life from the Loam type deck? That's kind of interesting. We might be okay. I mean, they could just like Fatal Push this Hedron Crab, which would really suck. But 3 mana, probably a Knight. Nissa. Sure. Alright. No removal spells, and we win the game next turn. Oh, perfect. They have a big, big Knight of the Reliquary. GG's. We did it. Like I said, this deck can function quite well. Let's see. Surgicals probably come out, dropping a couple of Haze of Pollens. These fogs just like are really bad against these sort of grindier decks. Bring in the Prismatic Omen combo, maybe the Seals, and the Tireless Trackers. Although they might have something for the Obstinate Baloth, might be fine too. Maybe only one seal. Deck functioned just as expected. That was fun. We just had like the perfects right there. Just Hedron Crab, Phantasmal Image. They had no removal spells. Just like boom. Turn 4, kill you. Modern's a turn 4 format. Remember that. Yeah, I think this hand's very good. Noble Hierarch, sure. And this is going to eat the dirt real hard. Or not. They just playing a knight. Or like a... Yep, there's a knight. They have a 2/2. Target you. Save targets. Always yield. Forest. Knight getting rid of a land into something. That's just helping our plan. I don't know what you're doing, bro. Just fixing their colors? I mean, they had... Oh, maybe they didn't have double white. There's a Gideon. End of turn. Go get another island. Play a Hinterland Harbor. I can't kill them quite yet with Scapeshift, but we're getting really close. So, and I just think keeping up Cryptic Command here for like counter whatever spell they are about to play. Sure. What are you doing? Lingering Souls. Sure, you can have that. That's 11, 12, 13. I think I can take 13. I go to 5. Yep. Sure. Cryptic Command is a very powerful magic card, from what I hear. If we draw another Hedron Crab, we kill them. Begin combat. Tap your team, draw a card. Path my Hedron Crab. That's not very nice of you. Can I draw a Prismatic Omen, please? Just like a counterspell? I'm very confused as to what you're doing. Prismatic Omen, please. Oh. Dang it. I don't think I can survive through all those. And Scapeshift obviously doesn't do anything, so my opponent got me. I don't think I need this seal. But Negate is probably pretty good. Let's try it like that. They don't look like they're on the Lily plan. They've got a bunch of other Planeswalkers in Abzan colors, but they don't have the Liliana. I don't think Surgical is all that relevant against them. Fogs might be okay, just because they can be quite the aggressor, but that took quite a bit out of them anyway. I guess my opponent now saw the Valakuts, or they saw the Valakuts, so maybe they're planning around that. I would like to go first, and yeah, I'll keep this hand. This hand does exactly what I want it to. Incoming land Fatal Push. Which I am kind of at the mercy of. I don't really have an answer for that. Nope. Just an elf. Or a human. Whatever. Target you. Save targets, always yield. Let's do this. Come on. Knight, Thoughtseize, and Nissa. Okay. Let's get the Tribe Elder down. I gave them access to Lingering Souls. That kind of sucks. Knight of the Reliquary? Or Nissa? Nope, Knight. Knight's pretty good against the deck that's trying to mill him out. And I'd like to hit my land drop, so... That wasn't a land drop. I'd prefer it if it was. But Tireless Tracker is pretty good. This definitely sucks, though. Missing a land drop in the sort of aggro land strategy doesn't really help. Gosh, 2 nights, huh? Jeez. Yeah, that's fine. It's not, I mean, it's not, but... I think if we hit a fetch land next turn, we might be able to kill them. Fetch is 6... 79, 12, plus 15 is 27. Oh, that doesn't do it. That's very close, though. Yeah, 12 plus 15, 27. Yep, that's right. But double Cryptic Command here is very good too. So you should cast a spell. Yeah, counter target spell, tap all my opponent's creatures. Gosh, that was good. Now a land next turn, though, does kill them. Thankfully, I have Cryptic Command here to stop them from doing too much. Begin combat. Tap all my opponent's creatures, draw a card. I don't have anything else, so... What is this? Do they have a spell queller? I will be super frustrated if they have a spell queller. No, it looks like green. Do they have cord? Nope. What are they doing? 5 green. They could have cord. Cord seems kind of weird, though. Out of their deck, at least. Paying costs. Gavany. Oh, okay, sure. They just wanted to use their mana while they had the ability to Gavany. And I drew a Negate. So... Does that do it? It almost does it. Okay, if I Scapeshift right now, I get 5 more lands. That's 15. Plus 2 more. No, that doesn't do it. I need to play Sakura-Tribe Elder, play Tireless Tracker. Dang it. I don't know if I can win this game. But I might be able to just block the 2 knights. Without having to lose my Hedron Crab here. I lose to the Shambling Vent still attacks me, but and then next turn I'll have 6. I'll have these 2 as well. I can negate any removal spell they have when I Scapeshift, and the crab can kill them. But that relies on them just attacking with the knights, not having removal spells or any way to give them trample. They have Gavany coming down, okay? The 2 knights ship in as well as the Noble Hierarchs, okay? They're just expecting maybe Gavany. Well, I'm going to go to blocks. Block here, block here. Before damage, sacrifice this. Get a forest. Get all of these things. Jesus. The knights got bigger. I'm at 7. Lingering Souls. Cast Lingering Souls. GG's. Sweet. Oh my god, I missed it. I'm literally 1 away. Oh my god. I didn't crack the Khalni Hard Expedition before the Scapeshift. Wow, I'm so stupid. I would have had that one too. We can chalk that up as a win. That was me being dumb. I clicked the wrong... Oh my god. I just got really hastily. I was just like, well, this is a win. Boom. Slam Scapeshift. That's not the way we want to do this. Alright, let's think about this next one. Actually try. But that's a win. So we're 1-1. So just 2 more. 2 more wins. We can do it. God, I did that a few weeks ago too. With the same deck. I made the issue of clicking through my Scapeshift without grabbing any lands off of it. With the kill in play. Just like, Hedron Crab's ready to go, enough to kill my opponent. Just click through Scapeshift, because I'm stupid. Man, that was really frustrating. This hand just doesn't do enough. This hand, well, it plays Hedron Crab on 2. It plays Hedron Crab on 1. Sick. Tron, okay. And Relic, sure. We might be able to stop Tron. You didn't, but okay. Opponent is telling me that they played this at regionals this past weekend, and I'm like, no, you didn't. Send a message. Attack with the Hedron Crab. See what your Hedron Crab could do for you today. I'll let you know that right now, this Haze of Pollen, not doing anything this game. That turn 1 Relic of Progenitus, though, is really good. Although they do not have the natural turn 3 Tron, so that's good. Karn liberated. My God. We get 2 more power plants. They may not have it. There's already 3 gone. We might be able to fight through it. As long as they don't draw the next one, like right now, we might be able to just beat them. Because they aren't drawing the 3rd Tron piece. Oh, come on. Ugh. Of course. Oh. Yeah, sure. You got it, Doug. If I draw Scapeshift next turn, you lose. Be pretty hot. Search comes off. Yep. Yes. Oh, gosh. I don't know. Maybe, but I doubt it. Like, we're really close to killing them. We're like super close to killing them. But they're going to minus Karn, target one of my Hedron Crabs. Or they're going to play Ugin and -1. You want to talk about how much I hate Tron? That right there explains to you exactly why I hate Tron. We get rid of 3 of their power plants. And they had the 4th one. And they didn't play it the turn before. So I can only imagine that it wasn't in their hand. They drew it that turn. I don't know if you can hear the frustration in my voice, but I'm so angry at myself right now. Or more specifically, Tron. Just in general. Yeah, keep. Sure. We might be able to do this. Person says before it gets Troned on turn 3 and loses game. If I can get to 6 mana before my opponent plays something overtly ridiculous, I might be able to kill them. Just Omen, Slam, Scapeshift. Although they need to take some damage too, so I don't know if that's going to happen. And they've got Tron. So it looks like I'm attacking them. Let's double think this. No, I need to be able to attack them. I've almost got it, but they're going to play something stupid next turn. So, God and Tron's supposed to be a good matchup. And then, of course, they had the turn 1 Relic last game just to, like, just enough to stop us. Oh, I can kill them this upcoming turn, actually. You're not sorry. You're playing Tron. Calm down. Please draw a Prismatic Omen this turn. I just want to give it to Tron really bad. Please just let me do that. I mean, Hedron Crab's not going to get there, so who cares? So, they have to kill my Hedron Crab, or else I kill them next turn. But, they're going to, because they have the stupid Oblivion Stone in play. They could just, like, slam Karn, or Ugin, or some crap. There's Ugin. Yep. Oh, I want my upkeep, not theirs. Before I draw, crack all of these. Maybe. Stirring, sure. Another Ugin. They're going to cast another Ugin. Try and bolt me. Counter. Draw. At least I have one more turn, right? Hedron Crab, please. It's not going to do it. Whatever. God, don't BM me like that, where you're just like, sorry I'm trying all your fun. You're not sorry, you're playing the deck. Calm down. Like... If you really think it's that bad that you're, like, if you're actually sorry that you're Troning someone, you probably shouldn't be playing Tron. I'm just saying. A little ridiculous, but whatever. Moving on. So we are currently 1-2, jumping into what could be the last match of this league and tonight. So I want to say thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind hitting the follow button here on Twitch or the subscribe button on YouTube, depending on where you are, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, if you are just sort of in here hanging out or, watching my YouTube stuff, I keep all of my stuff on my YouTube channel, so youtube.com/9ofsainttrack. You can go find the rest of my stuff there if you want to. It's pretty awesome. We play a lot of different decks here. It's mostly modern. In fact, everything's been modern so far, but that doesn't mean that it is always modern. There's definitely, at some point, going to be some standard, because I actually enjoy the current standard format, so we'll be playing some of that at some point in time. But as of right now, so far, it's just been modern. But if you enjoy that stuff, please hit the subscribe button on YouTube as well. Or, like I said, the follow button here on Twitch. Get my name out there. Let me stream a bit more. I really enjoy doing this, so I'd really love to do it a bunch more. So, and if you are looking for me to play a deck or want to watch somebody play a deck, you can. I will be... if you commented on, my YouTube channel, or send me a message on YouTube, or send me a message on Twitch, I will play pretty much any deck, pretty much any format too, that I can at least. So if you have a suggestion, please shoot it my way and I will consider it, assuming it's not absolutely terrible. Green Red Elves, interesting. Oh, Coco, sweet. Another thing too is that I am also doing a podcast with a couple people that hang out and chat every now and again. Called the Idiot Brewery, where every week we kind of sit down and we each bring a deck and talk about it on the podcast for about 20-25 minutes or so. And if that sounds like something you would really enjoy, then jump in, hang out with us, listen to our podcast. It's a lot of fun, and we have a bunch of fun doing it. So if you want to listen to that, there's a link below my Twitch stream, as well as you can just find it on YouTube, youtube.com/Idiot Brewery. You'll find it there. Currently, we're still getting the first episode up, but it will be up soon. So, missing a land drop in our Scapeshift deck really sucks. Don't know if you knew that or not. Yep. Don't you love fog? At least I'm finally hitting that third land drop. And another fog. Jesus. Make you pump mana into it at least. I bet this is super annoying for my opponent. I apologize to them. That sounds... It just, like, kind of sucks. Oh boy. If we draw a Hedron Crab, we might be able to do quite a bit. Sure. Yeah, just start eating my stuff, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This probably really sucks for my opponent, so I feel bad. Can only do it like once more though, so... I need like another fog or another Cryptic Command. Nine, 10, 11, plus 8 is 19. That's exactly lethal. I know. I can only have so many. Sakura-Tribe Elder. Well, that blocks. They'll get trampled, though. Yeah, making it not an elf is relevant because they could just. So if I chosen any of these creatures or chosen a Sakura-Tribe Elder, I guess Sakura-Tribe Elder doesn't really matter. But like, I'm not gonna sacrifice it anyway, so I might as well do it. I guess they're all gonna be gigantic anyway, so it doesn't super matter. But I could really use Hedron Crab this upcoming turn. If they have a green spell, though, I think I'm dead. Like, any green spell kills me. Yep. That kills me. And they're going to attack, so there's no point in not doing that. Okay, so probably want these Prismatic Omens, these Valakuts. I don't know if Seal of Primordium is even worth it, but I definitely don't want these Surgical Extractions. And I might not want a couple of the random things here. I just want to like combo them or fog them into oblivion. So I guess I maybe keep some of the ramp and cut a couple lands because I'm bringing in the Valakuts. We saw like Scapeshift, but our opponent saw neither half of our combo, so. Well, this ramps, and it has a fog in it, so I'm going to keep, even though ideally I want it to be, I want a Hedron Crab, so. This could very easily be the last game of our night. Another fog is pretty good, but missing a land drop, obviously, very bad. That's not what you want. Collected Company, okay. This could be very bad for me. This is very bad for me. Wow, this is really bad for me. So they have 5 mana. They are just going to put everything. Vivian Reed. You have no idea how much I love this card. It's so good. Sure. And they get a Scavangling Ooze. That's really not good. Oh boy. They're going to super kill me if I don't have some sort of fog effect up. So I cannot just... Like, I need to be able to block and fog. Just mostly fogging. If I just sack a Sakura-Tribe Elder, though, I could play Calling Heart Expedition and have fog up. So it does require me getting a forest, but that's fine. Elvish Archdruid. Jeez. Jeez. There's a Scavenging Ooze. Yeah, I'm just going to Haze of Pollen this turn. Obviously, I'm going to let them swing out, though. But they have to fight through my fog, so they might as well do this. God, I really wish I'd drawn, like, more lands. If I just keep drawing fogs or lands, I'd be okay, but... Sure. I should have kind of guessed that that was going to happen, but I guess it prevents him from using this for the turn, which is good. Yeah, you got it. Do what you want. What are they going to make? This can tap for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it's for each elf you control, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they're going to make 12. Yeah, they can make 12, 13, 14, 15 mana. Is that lethal? 6, 13. Sakura-Tribe Elder, sure. Fog. If I draw like Cryptic Command next turn, or a Fog, that'll be sweet. Okay. Okay. Yeah, they're thinking about it correctly. This is exactly lethal, so they don't need to pump and make a bunch more. Just 3 Scapeshifts stuck in hand. Well, that is the last one for me tonight. So this one was actually a win. We should have won it. I just didn't think about it and clicked the wrong card first. But I'm actually... So let me drop from this real quick. So something I might actually do for the future for this. I don't actually know if you want the fogs in this deck. Like 100% honest. I don't think you do. I'm actually thinking about putting these in the main. And then adding a 4th Prismatic Omen. Like, I know that this kind of makes this into a Scapeshift deck. Into like a Scapeshift Valakut deck. But, I think it's a really good thing to have the backup combo in the main board. Just in case. Because otherwise, you just kind of get shafted when someone is able to pick apart the first half. And then the second half just kind of dies. Or isn't there. So you just kind of die and you have to go on to game 2 already. And that just seems kind of bad. So I wonder if you want these in the main. And so I'm not saying add red sources. I'm not saying add like a bunch of Stomping Grounds and a bunch of Steam Vents and stuff to turn on Valakut. That's not what we're about. This is not supposed to be a normal Valakut Scapeshift deck. I think that this deck functions very well with its land base the way that it is, plus 2 Valakuts. If you have the 4 Prismatic Omens in your deck, it works out really well. And I think that that is a way to handle this and make this deck work. It also, like, Prismatic Omen just gives you, like, an immense amount of fixing. like casting Cryptic Command can be a pain in the butt sometimes. I mean, we're only 2 mana or 2 colors, so it's not super hard, but like it can be sometimes, and this just fixes that. Having it in the main board is really good. Plus, like we saw against the Merfolk player, like just having a Valakut and a Prismatic Omen in play, like not even drawing your Scapeshifts, like all of your fetch lands just become super good. Like you're just able to just play a fetch land, kill one of their idiots, crack it, get another land, kill one of their other idiots. Like it just felt and did very good work, and I actually really enjoyed it. So I wonder if I think this might be the next direction to take it. We're kind of coming up on the end of this deck being its ideal, you know, its sort of ideal structure. So, and then we're sneaking up on the 6-week limit that this deck has. So we might need to move forward towards a different type of structure. Early on, so like the first couple of weeks with a deck, I usually sort of ignore a lot of different factors that could make the deck better, because I try to keep the inherent thing about the deck that was sent to me or was given to me or whatever intact. So like we looked at, so for example, Grixis Dragons, right? So the inherent thing about that is like the Dragons Matters cards, right? So the first thing that I did was I started messing around with the numbers. I changed the mana base. I did some fixing there, and then I moved on to sort of changing it to a point where it was like mostly the same colors, right? And I kind of evened out all the colors and stuff. And then I changed it to like less of the Dragons Matters cards, but like the Dragons Matters cards were the cards that were kind of screwing with it a little bit. And so they were things that I wanted to cut earlier on, but obviously those were kind of the inherent characteristics of the deck. That was the reason that they're in there, is because they're the part of the deck that the deck wants to be. And I think just changing that is not what you want. And so a deck like this inherent deck's idea is to play Hedron Crab, mill out your opponent with Scapeshift. And so I think that adding this second backup plan was kind of where I didn't want to go with the deck right away, but we're kind of at that point where we might have to, which kind of sucks because I don't like doing that necessarily, just in the fact that makes this deck into something completely different. Or not completely different, but it is somewhat different. I just do kind of like the idea of like, and this might be something to explore in the future too, just a green-based ramp deck that has like Scapeshifts and Prismatic Omens. And Prismatic Omen, or it's just like green-based ramp deck, so like something that I've been thinking about basically is you just ramp into these really giant green threats. You use Scapeshift to sacrifice all your lands, go get a bunch more, and then play like I can't think of the name of the card, but it's like 3 and a green sorcery from Eldritch Moon that brings all your lands from your graveyard back into play tapped. So like with that and Scapeshift, you just like ramp whatever you just sacrificed, right? And you're just kind of like jumping up to these really high numbers, and then you're like slamming these huge threats. And what you could do is play Prismatic Omen into the deck to fix with it, so you can play these really giant threats that are not just mono green, and you can just like slam huge giant idiots all the time. And because you're playing Scapeshift and Prismatic Omen already in the deck, Valakut's just an easy addition, and it kind of gives you a win con, just like right outside of the big giant beefy idiots. And so this deck has sparked that idea, so I'm wondering if that's a brew that I might try in the future. I might even go on Idiot Brewery, so stay tuned for that. But outside of that, I am done for the night. I'm going to go ahead and log off here and upload these videos up to YouTube. If you are, currently watching on YouTube, please hit the follow button or the subscribe button on YouTube and hit the bell for the notifications of whenever my deck or my videos go live. I'd really appreciate it. It helped get my name out there and help other people find my stuff. And the same goes for Twitch. If you're currently watching on Twitch, or if you're currently watching on one, please go to the other and hit either follow on Twitch or the subscribe on YouTube and get my name out there. I'd really appreciate it. It'd be awesome. When we hit our first follower goal, which is 75 followers, so we're sneaking up on it, but we're not quite there. When we hit that, I will be doing a special stream that basically it's just an all-day stream of just me playing all the decks that I hate with a burning passion in Modern. So your Tron, your Bogles, your Red-Green Valakut Titan, all those decks are going to be played on that stream if we reach that goal. So tell your friends, tell your grandmother, tell everybody. It'll be a lot of fun. I'd really appreciate it. Outside of that, though, I'm Knight of Saint Draft, and I'm going to be signing off for the night. So I will see you guys all tomorrow night.